Make sure this camera is pointing the right way, would you?
Yeah, you're good.
Is it pointing like it should be pointing back at me?
You want it up more?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of looking at the
ground or sky or whatever.
There you go.
Okay.
Kind of like in the middle right there. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Just drop her off?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be there a while?
She has no idea. I said, so what? I says, every minute you spend out of that house, you're helping yourself.
Yeah.
You know? She agreed. It's actually the fucking door's been closed every night since she's got back too.
Good. No, it just says it's a visual. It sends a boundary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you leave your door open after someone walked in and took shit out of your garage, then it means I don't care. Come take whatever you want.
Hell, I'm not 100% sure that somebody took anything out, to tell you the truth.
Well, it was just one tiny. I saw it. It was one tiny. I thought maybe she was gonna probably give it back to me because it was only 3 items I gave her, and it was sitting in her garage, so I knew she didn't want it. But I don't give something to ask for it back.
Do we want to cut cross country or go to the roads?
Let's take the road.
Okay.
Well, whatever. I mean, I'm fine. Go ahead. I'll walk.
I usually cut across here.
All right, that's cool.
It's not too terrible. There's a little road beyond this pile right here.
All right.
We can take across, but then again, you know. But right below those rocks, where on the left side there,
Yeah.
there's a road that goes right down to it, to the house.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a barbecue sitting there. I remember that.
Barbecue? I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
on the way there, you'll see a barbecue pit like somebody sits out there at night.
Oh yeah.
Kids probably from this.
Yeah. No, there's all sorts of graffiti out there.
Firewood in there.
Yeah. See, I usually just cut like fucking. I like taking new trails, you know. And if you stay behind me, I can.
All right, you got the sticks. Smack the snake for me.
Yeah, I kind of stay away from anything that could even think about having a snake in it. No, can you imagine living here in the 1800s?
Yeah.
That's when they found it, in the 1800s. Fuck that. Yeah, you get out here, you never know what you're really gonna find, you know? This is where all the fucking junk is. Right, rocks and stuff that nobody else has seen before. You know? You take the same route everybody else is taking, you see what everybody else has seen, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I kind of, you know, I stay in the, you see animal tracks there.
Yeah.
But no, that's where I find my best rocks, is walking around and
You gotta wear pants for this kind of stuff.
yeah, well, we can stay out of it.
Yeah, I like it here. Now we get into civilian life, underwear and a razor blade.
Yeah. I seen a hypodermic needle the other day
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
down the end of the road there.
Yeah.
Still had some shit in it too. I don't know what it was, but there's a dose or so.
So because that tower, I think that tower's a repeater of that.
Could be.
Because if you go farther on down the line, there's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, see it down the road there?
That could be.
It has
no real bearing on what it was doing there.
It has no dishes, nothing.
But it could be also federal land, so they can put it there, you know. And cameras up that high, what the fuck are you gonna see? I mean, how many fucking cameras can you have? Fuck. They start putting them in everybody's backyard and shit. And then
These are all old.
oh yeah.
There's no pole line here. There's no reason for us to be here except for this was for mining one time.
Yeah. They got a picture of the canyon when it was kind of old, but you could see this community here. There's a community just beyond it. Maybe it was that over there. I don't know. But it wasn't very big. But I seen the house. It was an old wooden house.
I think they encased that in cement. It's like a memorial.
No, that was the foundation of the
okay.
wooden house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Again, what the fuck are you gonna do out here at pre-1800 shit, you know?
Yeah.
Man, holy fuck, Batman.
There's a fucking water source back there for you.
There was a river. She said she threw it in the river.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Down there, honestly, where those cars are buried,
yeah.
that looks like it was a river at one time. I mean, a river's a wash.
Yeah.
And how they adjusted all this water shit, you know, when they started damming up dams and fucked up, you know,
Yeah.
where water goes and this and that.
Yeah, diverted.
So
Just because it's not a river now doesn't mean it's a river.
exactly. No, the way those cars are buried, they're fucking almost to the roof shit, you know. But fuck. And they're old cars, you know, so.
How's it doing?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Keeping her appointments. Got her VA shit.
No, she don't have a choice. They're gonna make her, so, which is good.
The VA ain't doing shit, and I'm kind of pissed about that, you know. They didn't answer me, 5 people. And I'm gonna tell them too. I'm gonna say, hey, you know, when I write this letter to the president, I'm gonna put that in there, that I wrote 5 different people and got no response. This is the problem with the VA.
I would just like somebody just to be honest. And I know if you speak to somebody like Tomas off to the side privately,
I sent him one.
he'll tell you the truth. Yeah, I'm saying, but to some of them, like the doctor that told me go get your card 7 years ago
Yeah.
at the VA, she says I can't put that in writing.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you right now what to do.
Oh yeah, no, my psychiatrist did
Yeah.
the same thing. He says,
He strikes me as being the same kind of person, you know.
yeah.
They'll tell you man to man, and they'll go, but I'm telling you off the record, this is man to man. I would just like if somebody would be honest with me, don't bullshit me.
Yeah.
I already know you're lying when you say that fucking you're waiting to fucking for them to build a network.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, again, they could be doing, they're not even trying to think outside the box, this whole deal, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they could get dental work for every veteran out there if they put a little effort. All these towns would fucking, you know, like a fundraiser type thing, a hiking, you know, any number of things they could do to promote money that necessarily the government is not paying for. It's the private sector that's pitching in, you know.
It doesn't cost them any money to offer free internet.
Yeah.
And my device is weird. My device like downloads in the middle of the night, is what they told me in Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
So meaning I can't. It's not like I can go over to the clubhouse
Well, if you need to come down, and I made it worked out a deal. Vape cartridge a month for internet.
Well, I'm gonna find it either way.
Yeah.
With them, I mean, I can get my own.
I want to force it on them.
Yeah, me too. Fuck, I can get porn on my phone.
Yeah.
It's not like I need their fucking.
Right.
I don't need their shit for. If I want porn bad enough, I get X videos on my phone.
Right.
You know, that's not why I want it.
Right. Well, I told them I said appointments, you know,
Yeah, it's a
this,
form
that, and the other.
It's a form of freedom of speech.
And then they ignore me.
Yeah.
I thought about that all night.
Said, oh, they don't want. If they're worried about child pornography, go. If they were that worried about child pornography, they would make it fucking.
They could put a filter. They could put a filter right in that.
Yes, we used to put filters on.
Sure.
Shit
Parental control kind of thing.
We put a filter on a tap on a line that blocks out certain frequencies.
Right.
It looks like a fucking cylinder. It's not a big deal. But I said then they would fucking worry about knocking off child pornography throughout the whole country. They don't.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that just vets they got to worry about that.
Yeah.
That's horseshit.
And they're adult. The vets are adults. They're not fucking criminals.
Yeah,
they're not on probation. You know, at least most of them ain't.
So I'm sexually abusing a child. The last thing I want to see is fucking child pornography.
Yeah.
But it's not my business to go fucking to police somebody else's fucking.
Right.
You know.
Well, it's a control thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I plan on telling them. You know, when I talk to the niece or whoever next, you know, I'm gonna lay it out to them and say, this is why you're not trusted.
Yeah.
This is why I will tell any veteran to go to Access over you guys.
Yeah,
this is the exact reason
I'm not jumping back into that healthcare system.
Yeah. I mean, I got her as primary, but again, I made a call yesterday when she needed a ride, and I was finding out my Access, getting another card. Yeah, some kind of marker. But for Access, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think Access does a lot better job than the VA ever does.
Yeah. Well,
and VA is political.
Well, here all we have is a clinic, so they're going to give you a choice program for everything.
Yeah.
So that's you might as well be in Access anyway.
That's one of the advantages of living here, because I knew they didn't have.
Yeah.
You know.
I was in Prescott. I moved back to Prescott thinking a small town, big hospital would be fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I didn't go up this one. I went up the one that was down there by the pole line.
Oh, this is the cool one, man.
Yeah. Actually, this part it might have been on. No, yeah. I came off the pole line, so straight there.
Now I've gone up this side, filmed at all those holes and shit, you know, really up close. Went over on the other side of that road kind of thing there, and then went down the side of this thing. You'll see a cave as we walk up on this thing here. And I went down.
The whole snake holes or those little gophers? Or both?
Both.
Yeah.
See the wind?
Yeah.
So I went over that thing. There's the houses I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, I saw those.
Okay. So this is the road, I think, right. It's either there or there. One of the two. I think it might be right here. I have to look.
Yeah, they took the grill out. The grill was right here by that bush.
Let's go right down this motherfucker right here. So I went to that right there. See that big hole?
Yeah.
I went along that side of the bottom there. You want a stick?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I went to the top of that mountain over there where you see the rocky point, the gray area going that way.
Yeah.
It's right between those, left to those, or right to those rocks. That's where I stopped at that day. It took me 4 hours to get there. But I went via that road right there. I climbed this hill. And went up there, and then went down, and then went up that. And then I came down around the roadways and came up this way. I was looking at this the other day. This is This is a trail, kind of. You can really see it from up on top, you know. So this is probably the best way down right here. There's a road that goes over here, but it's pretty fucking steep. Maybe we'll take that on the way back. But you can see how many people.
Take flatland on the way back.
Huh?
I don't mind going down. It's on the way back. Take flatland.
Well, we could take this road here. See that road?
Yeah, it dumps
We
right
could
down
just
the other road.
right.
Yeah.
That goes right next to that neighborhood. But can you imagine living out here in 1800s, right here?
Yeah.
Whew. You'd think he'd be able to kill enough fucking rabbit, coyote, something. But then again, kingman probably wasn't jack shit back then either, you know? It ain't jack shit now.
Well, women were outnumbered, and the ones that were here, the ones that
Oh yeah, definitely.
they didn't have a good life.
No.
But if they were lucky enough to marry a man who wasn't a good man, then that would.
Yeah, they were sent to the pig farm, you know?
Yeah.
Sold. Pretty much. See, this is about how fast I walk right here. And then I went up. Where'd it go? I hit that. And then you see the right there where the tree is?
Yeah.
Right below, underneath it, those things there. That's where I went up to the top. When I climbed down and seen that side thing there, I climbed over and then I went and looked up inside those little caves, looking around for rattlesnakes and whatnot and shit. And then I climbed. Oh, I thought somebody was talking. Yeah, that's the way I went the last time, that last trip.
Yeah.
I went around that rim right there, and it goes all the way around, and just on the other side of that is Kingman. I mean, you get to them houses and you're almost downtown Kingman right there. I mean, you can see downtown. And right below that rim that I had taken up, that's where there's like an encampment there, old trailer, some really old cool shit, you know. And then in back there's a van parked with cloth, you know, on it. So I figure somebody might be living there, not to get too close, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I was living out there, I'd fucking want something, you know, a gun, something. And it does have a private property thing on it, but that don't mean jack shit. That
could have been fucking.
yeah, right.
Like when there was a
And
river.
it's painted. It's painted on, you know, to where it's not even a sign. So again, that property could have changed ownership a long time ago. No, I couldn't imagine living out here in 1800s. That'd be fucking fucked up.
Well, if there was whiskey in a hole, yes, I could.
Well, I mean, yeah, but again, you have to,
Yeah.
you got to live on shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And pickings are slim out here. You know, rabbit, coyote,
Yeah.
maybe a deer now and then.
Yeah. Like finding gold. You found
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
rough spots in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. See, this is about the rate I walk. You know, all my trips. Kind
Spring's
of.
coming. You see all the little grass popping up. I was just sitting out in the backyard the other day, and I saw the little clover-looking little grass type growth that's gonna pop up over everybody's yard.
See, that's the animal right there.
Huh?
That's a big animal right there. Well, why'd they fucking pick this place? I can't figure that out for the life of me. Because like the first video, before I even heard anything about it, I says, why? You know.
Well, Kingman's probably just spread out at that time. Like that's why there was a mansion out. And how far out is that mansion?
Oh, it's fucking in the sticks.
Yeah.
No, it's 30 miles from here. But they built it for the coal miners, and then stockholders and everything started coming in, and I mean, it was really decked out. It was called a mansion. You know.
Oh, it's like a big bunkhouse.
No, it's this fucking 2-story, you know, ornamental iron.
Yeah.
Shit on, you know, good trim on the walls and stuff. All been eaten away by people and shit. So the only place I can figure the river, like I say, is right down there past those houses on the other side. That's where all the cars are buried in the water. You know? There had to be a considerable amount of water going through there to bury them fucking cars down there like that, you know?
Here's a bullet shell.
They seen it, the shotgun shell.
Huh?
Shotgun shell, red.
No, this looks like aluminum. It's a 45.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's old.
Antiques. Yeah. Not too old.
No, but I mean, but is this a 40? Yeah, you can still read the marking on it, so it's not that old.
Yeah.
But still, I like these little things you find on it.
Yeah. No. No, and if you don't look, you don't find. You know what I mean? That's part of, you know, God knows, you could walk across a big old fucking chunk of gold.
There's another one. Here's a 22. Brass.
No, there's a, when I went that way, right before I hit that geological marker, I seen a can, you know, like a coffee can.
Yeah.
That thing probably had 50 bullet holes in it. So this is the house right here. This is the house.
So what do you think that thing was part of this property then? That little over there?
That? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know how much it cost to get cement though? Back then? Sheesh.
Yeah, I would think this is probably what, 20s or 30s?
This?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The fact that it's a cement foundation, I'm guessing 20s or 30s, but the Romans fucking invented cement, I think.
Yeah, no, I think this is her actual house right here.
You want me to put this down right here?
Yeah. No. Let's see what we can do here. So what we got to do is calibrate it. Old metal. I mean, again, when they did Senator Mine back in the 1800s, it was all cement like this.
Yeah.
I mean, tons of it. Fucking couldn't believe steel girders and shit. And I thought,
Right.
fucking,
But in private homes, that would be.
that would be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Unless they use that brick that's here.
Now this is antique glass. Check that.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Okay, here.
You really gotta throw the plastic bottles here. Take a picture of it.
Okay, I gotta calibrate this thing. Yeah. Come on, dickhead. Let's see.
I bet this was a smokehouse.
Could be. Okay. If it breaks here, at least we ain't gonna hit anything.
Smoked meat and shit in there, or they stored food. That's a small fucking house.
That's return mode.
Huh?
That's return mode.
Well, you can get the fuck out of county in the middle of the morning, wouldn't you? You can fly by.
That's return mode. Come on, Troy, you want to play with it?
I'm watching.
Oh yeah.
I like to pick up rocks, anything, because it has history attached to it. But I ain't taking anything from in the house or any of that, because I remember that episode of Brady Bunch, when they took that tiki dough from Hawaii.
What do you think? You know, I hit the cement, so it fucking... I landed at just about where it took off at.
Now when you ever come to these natural water things, you go to the bottom, just like in a creek where you find gold and shit.
Oh yeah, there's gold probably in that wash right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool.
Really badass, pristine arrowhead I found in Colorado. Gave it to my nephew. You know, well, he's autistic, but also, you know, modern day. He wasn't impressed.
Yeah, no, you can imagine there's fucking Mojave Indians that were out here at that time.
Yeah.
Hell, that guy could have got fucking killed by an Indian, killed by a cowboy, animal, falling off a cliff.
Down drunk.
Yeah, something. What a way to go, though, huh?
In Preston, they asked them to move the red light district because all the gentlemen were drowning in Granite Creek.
You ready to go?
Oh, we can look around if you want, or where do you want to go?
It's up to you.
I'll keep walking. I'm good. I like this shit.
No, I think, you know, I don't know if you can make it up that hill there, but looking...
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if I want to do a lot of up climbing, steep climbing, but
Uh-huh.
cool. Roads are cool. I'm good. I could walk for a while.
All right.
Yeah, feels good.
We could go down to the wash if you want,
Yeah.
where the cars are.
All right.
So you'll be on my films now too.
All right.
So No, that was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Let's go this way.
Carry that?
If you want.
Yeah, I'll carry it.
I
I
don't
have one person walking with sticks in front of me. That's cool.
Yeah.
They get past you.
I'm ready to smoke a joint. I don't know about you.
I got my vape in my pocket, so smoke away. You want to sit over here?
You want
Check this out. This looks like a smokehouse.
No, I looked at it. I didn't go inside just
No, I
because of
don't want to.
rattlesnakes.
Well, it might have some. It might have some vibe in there. I don't want either.
Right? No, they say you can come down here and hear the fucking
Yeah.
the wails, you know, of the children, the mother crying because you know they're starving to death. You know.
It's like a movie, a Mexican fable, or a movie I got at home. A Mexican woman, she drowned her kids in the river because her husband didn't come back. And it's called Luna or something like that. I got it at home.
This is called Luna's Canyon or Slaughterhouse. No, with the wind blowing and everything, I think that drone did pretty good. You know how far I got up that hill? Shit. I bet you the base of those rocks is I had it that high. And this far away, you know, if I was sitting up there, I could reach the top of that. You know what I mean?
I mean, check this out. It's concrete and it's crude. So at the same time they would have done that.
Right.
They would have done this.
And just the architecture back then, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if they'd have done that now, they wouldn't have done it that way.
Yeah.
They'd have made a wooden roof or something, you know. So again, he could have done a lot of this himself out of the whatever rock
Yeah.
they were making around here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I bet money somebody was using this for a shelter at one time. There's a fire there.
Sacrificing.
I don't know, but I bet you it's got some stories. Probably took a couple virgins there too. A couple guys did.
How cool is this when a piece of glass ends up looking like a rock over time? Check it out. Like in the ocean, you know, you see a piece of
Oh
glass.
yeah, now there's a fucking keeper there.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
It's like a rock, but it's
Yeah.
just a piece of old fucking...
yeah, no. This is why I go on these trips, man. I bring back all sorts of shit. Now that I'm learning how to set that down while you're walking, no sense you have to carry that around.
Oh, right next to a condom, nice.
Yeah. I was coming down from Yarnell, and there's an observation deck there, and I'm filming a gold mine down there. Used to be a big dairy, and there's this big fucking red of said panties right on the cement wall. And I look over, I sent it to my buddy in Indiana. I said, look at the fuck what's there. No, I walked all the way around that side, and I went this side. So, you know,
Ghost towns sound cool.
no, don't they?
When I drove out to last time I went to Medusa, I noticed that there's little towns listed on the 66 out there, and growing up as a kid, I always wanted to check out 66.
Oh, 66 is, you know.
So now I live in it, so it's so cool.
Right, no, there's so much to see. You need to come down and look at, like, you know, the different pictures of each town, like Stockton and Chloride, and, you know, the old mills that are like, it's like Oatman.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly what it reminds me, is Oatman.
Without all the tourists.
Without the tourists.
Fun without the tourists, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oatman's a little bit commercial.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even considered a ghost town, from what I understand. It was said yesterday.
Not even anymore, I heard. With Calico, after in between, it's outside of Barstow.
And then there's.
We'd always go there on the way from Vegas to California.
Well, I saved the map and the picture of the map, and you could touch on each town, and it would show you a picture of all the shit that is there that you're going to want to see, you know. So I saved the town. It's not going to be too hard to refine that webpage, you know. But no, I want to. That's what I want to do. Is the longer I'm here, the more safe my car is. You know, the more I want to go out to these towns. I want to go to that mansion, but it's you know, you got to think about the road to get there and shit. You know. But it wasn't all that far from Hualapai Peak, and I was to that motherfucker. And there's a road that goes to Yucca.
Well, there's got to be somebody too that does. You probably right now with nobody fucking making any money, you probably get it real cheap. There's got to be somebody that takes you out to those places. With
Nobody's doing it, man.
With a Jeep or something.
They did kind of doing it in Wickenburg, you know.
Yeah.
But you don't even need a chauffeur's license. You don't need any kind of anything.
You're not on city streets. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of times, like a lot of states, like a boat captain, you could not make money on the water without having a federal boat license. Period.
But if you stay on federal land, and even then they got to catch you.
Right. The only way that you need a license in this state for something like that is if you're hunting animal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you're sightseeing, like the guys in what is it, south of Flagstaff there, Cottonwood, Sedona. Yeah. They got those purple buses running around all the time, sightseeing and shit. And they don't have chauffeurs. So, no, you know, I tried ran ads on Craigslist and stuff, but no, with the way I walk, fuck, I could take tours out and make money, $100 a pop, or.
In fact, to start it, you could just rent a fucking 4x and.
Right.
Until you get off the ground, till you get enough to where you can buy your own.
Make mine.
Yeah.
I like making them because then you know how sound everything is. You know, first thing I do is I start replacing parts, brakes, you know, calipers, bearings, whatever shit needs. You know, hoses, you know, distributor cap.
Right. Somebody was. You could tell when you see this.
Yeah.
That I mean, nobody's walking out here to drink a fucking beer. There's, you know, they're coming out here to fucking shelter for a few days or.
Oh yeah. Well, the day I did hike up that mountain, a guy in a truck did drive up here in a 4-wheel drive. He was coming down the road, and then he drove up as I was going up that hill there. He was driving up this and kind of checking it out. But I'd like to come out here at night, to tell you the truth, because I'm really into the paranormal. I can tell you some stories that.
Yeah, Ghost Adventures is one of my favorite shows.
I'm telling you.
And Dead Files. Yeah. I love that shit.
When I was at Motel 6, I was in the back and I walked around the pool area to go to Bash's there by Medusa. Some Mexican, hey Bill. And I says, and I thought he was, you know, Bill, whoever. Yeah. Hey Bill, Perry. I look around and there's an old Mexican guy sitting by a door in a chair. And so I walk towards him and he has his hand out to shake my hand. I go out to shake his and then he pulls it away. And that pissed me off. And I turned around and walked away. But I told my doctor here, I says, you know, I'd like to find a fucking hypnotist. Why? You know, answer me how that fucker knew my name. You know, I don't live in Kingman. You understand? Yeah. Motel 6 and somebody fucking calls out your name. Yeah. And that's not the first time it's happened.
No, I'll tell you a cool story. I was in Hollywood when I was probably, I might have been 21, something like early 20s, you know, because I used to live in Southern California. So, and I pull over and stop to go out in the store just to get a soda, and a black man, homeless, starts walking towards me. I mean, really old. So I was an Elvis impersonator when I was young, but he wouldn't have known that. But he starts walking up to me and he starts singing "Can't Help Falling in Love" to me, and walks right down. It was so fucking ghostly. But energy connections are weird that way. I mean, you
no, I know
all the time.
No, I got.
They're unexplainable.
$75,000 from my grandfather. I drove from Indiana to Wisconsin on a motorcycle, little 195, couple 300 miles. Pick up the check at 4 o'clock. Go to the bank. I get there about 15 minutes before it closed. I want $75,000. You know. here's my check, you know. So I'm standing at the window and it's like fucking deja vu. Like I remember this. And then exact same time that I'm thinking that, that guy says, "Have you ever been here before?" And I'd never been there before. I just fucking wow, you know. And then I was in we can walk.
Yeah, they say we see people all the time that we run into that right away you might think, wow, that something about them, and sometimes it could just be you knew them in a past life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was in Panama City, Florida. They had a hurricane down there, and I was working at a motel, trading them work for rent, you know.
I live in Florida.
So I have two dreams. I have one of an old girlfriend, and she we gotta think of a way to carry that thing easier, you know.
Yeah.
Like a backpacker.
Put a sling on the back of my...
Something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm at this motel. I have a dream of this ex-girlfriend 20 years prior, and I try and call her and get in touch with her, and usually I'm pretty fucking successful at that. And her mom wouldn't let me, but she finally told me, she goes, she tried to commit suicide the other night, and that was the night of the dream. And it was like she was calling out to me, all right? Yeah. So the next night, or nights after, I'm not sure the nights, orders and shit like that, but I have a dream I'm in jail. I call my parents, tell them I'm in jail and blah, blah, blah. And I don't think nothing of it, but I do remember the dream, okay?
Yeah. That's why they say put a,
well,
when I get readings, they say keep a dream journal next on your bed. So when you wake up in the morning and you've got a dream that you remember, write it down what you remember.
Well, here's the hooter. I get back to Chicago in the springtime. You know, I do Chicago's in the summer and Florida in the winter. So the first thing my mom said, "When did you get out of jail?" I says, "I wasn't in jail." She goes, "That's strange." I says, "What do you mean?" She goes, "We got a call from you, and you talked to me, you talked to your father, said you were in the Lake County jail." I'm gonna go this way here.
All right.
And you know, we talked about your dog, you know, so on and so forth. So they were gonna send me a gift to the Lake County jails around Christmas time in the middle of winter, and they call Lake County jail. Well, there's no record of any William Perry in the Lake County jail, okay? So the old man, being like me, he calls Ma Bell and asks them, "Where did this call come from?"
Yeah.
Lake County jail. Now, that's bothered me ever since that fucking, they told me that, you know?
That's weird.
So, you know, there's a lot of shit that's going on. See, I bet you there's gold in this too. Yeah. All these washes, you know.
Well, anywhere that because water's gonna find
it's gonna curve. You want to go just beyond the curve. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a straightaway, this would be the last place to look. You want to go where it turns, because gold is 19 times heavier than water, and it's gonna sink to the bottom on the lightest thing, you know.
Yeah, you can even find
I think you go on the outside curve.
You could even find it on top of a wash if you, you know.
See, I walked that whole thing the other day. See up there?
Oh, this is cool.
There's a path that goes along that whole edge right there, all the way around.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, yep. And it goes right next to it too, pretty close to it. I went a little closer, but see, there's right beyond that is the community right by us that you can see from like our house, you know.
Now, this is a pole this is obvious. You know?
Well, there's another fence line over there across the way.
But look how long the poles could have been here, so.
Yeah.
They could have telegraph on this road before.
Oh yeah, hell, this could be stagecoach shit, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they just went over it, widened it, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, usually they're going to use anything, they're not dumb, they're going to use whatever they can.
No, I've been down Stagecoach Road in Congress and Yarnell. It's a pisser.
You want a water? I got a water.
I got two of them.
Okay, I brought one for you.
But see, I want a drone, like, get real close as I can, all up in there. Just walk that line right underneath those.
Those little mini fucking drones.
I know, but you got to think about wind.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the wind was actually, when I was getting it high enough, it was pushing to where I couldn't go forward any farther. You know, because above this canyon here, the wind's blowing pretty fucking good. I guarantee it. Hell, you can feel it now.
Bad day though. I mean, I'm not cold, so it's just
probably
getting
10.
cold that I fucking don't like it.
10, 12.
Huh?
Is the wind 10 or 12? You got the wind on that?
No. I'm probably doing the weather, but I can't see my screen. So.
Yeah. See, I've got a tablet.
I just want to snap a picture. I gave her my fucking fire tablet. It was a fucking nice tablet. That's what got stolen out of the garage. I think Ricky has it. You know,
Yeah.
I think if anybody in that neighborhood would have stolen it, it would have been
Yeah. You notice he hasn't come to my house in a long time.
He waves, but
He knows.
he knows.
Yeah.
He knows we know.
Yep.
He'd be one of those fuckers I go, I really don't want to get in a fucking foxhole with him. You know?
Yeah.
Fucking guy-
And that's why I stayed away from people. There's a lot of Rickies out there.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, there's more Rickies than not, so
Yeah.
I don't need a lot of friends. I just like, I like in Tombstone. It's either Wyatt or Doc. So the guy goes, "Why do you do it?" He's my friend. Well, I got lots of friends. He says, "I don't." It's not passing judgment. It's just when I say stuff, I'm not passing judgment on people. It's human nature. I'm just if I don't understand, I try to understand it. If I understand it about others, I understand it about me.
Mhm.
You know, what we don't usually like in people are things that trigger us that we don't like when those things come up in us. And there are some people it pops up and then they don't just give a fuck. They can stay in that zone all the time.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's somebody right there. Look, right there.
Oh yeah, walking a dog.
Do you see a dog? I don't see a dog, but
I think he's got a dog. Yeah, I thought he had a leash.
here, let me. I got binoculars.
Thought he had a small dog. Maybe not.
Could be off the leash too. You know, just running around and shit.
Right. Yeah.
Looks like an old guy.
Yeah.
No, you'd love that. Overlooks the town. You'd love a picture from up there.
Yeah, he's got a dog.
No, it's fucking beautiful up there. And once you get up that hill, actually, if you go up, there's a certain way that's not as drastic as what you saw. You know, because we came down.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we went up to those rocks area, that's pretty much where it's at, to where you can walk straight across to the top of that. You know, with very little incline to it.
Need a couple weeks of walking.
Oh yeah, no. No, I couldn't do 10 miles my first time either.
That move fucking took all the juice out of me.
Yeah. But I'd like to just walk this just at the bottom of that rim right there and drone all those little caverns and shit like that, you know. And then if I get good, buy a decent one, you know, something that stay up for an hour. This one only lasts maybe 15-20 minutes, something like that. A lot of barbed wire. I could show you, like I said, I seen
Hold this
this.
for a second while I put it in my backpack.
Sure. There's this pan on this property that we could go by, and I think you'd jump on that. No shit.
I gotta remember that fucking thing's in there.
We're gonna go by all that or are we? Yeah, I think we are. That quartz,
Yeah,
you know.
that's why I brought a backpack. In case
No, we go, if we go that far, we'll, you know. And it's not like I said, I went up and down, you know.
Yeah.
We're gonna go just around.
That's fine.
You
Let's do
understand?
that. Yeah, I can do that.
And it's basically where we're going is just on the other side of them houses there. See that canyon that's going that way?
Yeah.
That's where we're going.
You said there's a really, the nurse told me there's
Oh, even the cars and shit fucking buried. You're gonna see that
the
fucking.
nurse told me it's a cool canyon.
Yeah, there's a white dog up there.
Yeah.
Wish I had a. Oh, if I had my
Nurse told me
keys.
it's a cool canyon.
So I usually carry my keys with me,
Now.
you know, to where I could whistle, and I got pepper spray on there too.
No, it's just the inclines I worry about with my heart. So
Oh yeah, well, you build it up though. You build that thing
I
up.
walked 6 miles to get my rental truck. It was the last 3/4 of a mile that, and then
Kicked
going
your
to
ass.
move, that kicked my ass.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's overdoing shit, you know.
Oh, my buddy.
Trust me, I've done the Grand Canyon 3 times. That's 27 miles.
They just
One
found-
day.
They just found somebody's body in the Grand Canyon.
Did they? Oh, I believe that.
And yeah.
You know, I don't doubt it whatsoever.
Just read this morning.
There's so many places, especially on the North Rim. And I walked that thing at midnight with the...
Oh, that's a way to commit suicide. Walk off in a fucking asshole.
Oh no, there was a fucking 2,000 foot drop. You know, I'm walking by and I'm thinking, oh, just waiting. All I need is a fucking mountain lion or God knows what pop out on the trail here at night. And then I walk up on this bathroom at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm walking with my flashlight from my phone. All right. And I had my battery pack, so it was, you know, I wasn't gonna run out. I hit this bathroom. I hit this metal bar, and I knew it was something because they don't put metal bars out there.
Bar?
You know. So I see a building. I go to the wrong side of the building, but there's 2 like truck boxes there. You know. Open it up, and it's filled with food and water and sleeping bags and tents and foam pads.
Yeah.
And I said, fuck it. So I went in the bathroom, slept about 3 hours, got up at daylight, put the shit back, and it says emergency cache for people that, you know.
Yeah, my dad's got guns and shit buried all over his property in fucking Oklahoma.
You know what that white shit is right there? Up there?
Is that gypsum?
Nope.
What is it?
That's vulture poop.
It's what?
Vulture poop.
Oh.
You know, it's all over. They have Vulture Mine Trail there in Wickenburg.
Okay, I was gonna say I've heard of Vulture Mine.
Yeah, that's one of the most haunted spots. Guy fell into the machine, the mining machine and shit.
I think Ghost Adventures went out there to Vulture Mine.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of the most haunted spots in the state. This is supposed to be right up here too. This whole canyon.
Oh, I'm sure.
This is whole thing until we get down here.
I mean, look at that old corral. That fence. And that's over 100.
Oh yeah, sure. No, we're gonna go to one that's just on the other side of this.
The desert bar out there outside of Parker.
See, where we're going is just on the other side of these houses here. You can see these houses from where we're going.
Yeah, she should be out doing this. She would like this. You could just take her on these kind of roads.
Oh yeah. And a lot of the places I go to, you know, there's a lot of trails, and like these towns that we're talking about, even like Oatman. I mean, you could walk all over and get all sorts of fucking video and exercise, seeing new shit here and new shit there, and you know, fuck, getting out, enjoying the fucking countryside. I mean, for the price of gas I get, shit.
Yeah. I get my car and just
You know.
drive. I used to go to Jerome every weekend by myself.
Yeah.
Every Sunday I'd sit and watch this.
No, we need to get a couple fucking women and start doing this whole group of people. Honestly, it would be nice, you know, when this pandemic shit is, you know, get a couple carfuls. It's fun with groups, I think.
Oh, that tree's so good.
Yeah, it's all uphill though on the way home. But we could take also a different way home. We could go along the tracks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
To the bridge and then walk right to the.
Let's walk up the highway.
Yeah.
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 Fine.
And those are the two, I'll show you the two mountains that the only two that I haven't hit yet.
I bet there's some old cemeteries out here.
Oh yeah. No, there are a bunch down in Congress, old pioneer cemeteries, 1788, shit like that. Can you imagine?
So that's rose quartz, right?
I have no idea. I would say yeah. Now see, this was a river one time. Just by the way it's cut, the dirt, you know.
Look at that bird.
Yeah. Might be a falcon or something.
Well, that's good luck either way. Yeah, that's a beautiful fuck. Look at that thing.
Riding the air currents.
Fucking wingspan on that thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, can't beat the outdoors.
Huh?
Can't beat the outdoors.
No, it's free.
Right. And see, I seen garbage cans out here, and I said, well, I know somebody lives here then. You know? Warning, security dog. The gate's open.
Yeah.
And that's what I was worried about when I first started walking up. See, there's town right there.
Yeah.
That's downtown. And then when you're up there on top,
Yeah.
you can just fucking look right down over the whole town. I mean, that building right in front of us, that's to the left of Walgreens, halfway to town already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those light posts you see in front of us,
Yeah.
that's a baseball field, downtown Kingman.
I love that little old part of town. Yesterday, I don't even like going over near Walmart or any of that shit, lady. I said, I'd rather shop small like this.
Yeah, you pay a little bit more, but you get more antique, real shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything at Walmart's is fucking crap. Chinese, Japanese, Taiwan.
That's why all the screws fell on that table.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Principle's there, but it's not well built.
So when you went up, when you were on top,
I did that whole edge right there.
but was there a trail that got you up there?
Yeah, all the way around.
Oh, okay.
And it walks all the way back to that community that we just came from.
Okay.
You know, walks right back to that. No, you're looking right down over on top of this thing here, right here. And I knew somebody lived here because there's a garbage can there, you know. And if it was abandoned. But there's a house over here, like I say, there's property over here that you could probably, I was thinking about checking out eminent domain or adverse possession, because if they haven't paid the taxes and shit like that, you can just go there and there's water there, there's electricity there. You know, you'd have to do your homework.
Yeah.
You know, you go to the assessors and see who the owner is and see if there's any liens and shit, you know. But in the long run, a free chunk of property is a free chunk of property. See, that's the one right there to your 2 o'clock. That's the one I haven't climbed. There's two of them. One is on the other end down there. We'll go by. We want to go off to the left here. Then they got some kind of weird ass frame for the, I don't know if it's for the railroad or what. Now see, back in the 1800s, there's probably no railroad back over here too, you know. So I was watching a truck drive up this thing while I was up there on top. There's a homeless camp at the end of these tracks, and this road turns left and goes off into those mountains there to get to this where we are now. So those people there either have to go this way, but I don't know where the outcome is this way. You understand?
Yeah, now we're in a wash.
In a what?
Now we're in a wash.
Yeah. Wash Road.
Yeah. Well, the wreck drivers.
Yeah.
The road, but you could tell that this was water at one time.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to go right into a wash as soon as we turn the corner here. No, I went to the top of that big fucker up there. That next one, that one day. I was gone for 4 hours. And see where See where the rotators or the propellers are in front of us?
Yeah.
That's how close I got to them. I had like one more hill to go, maybe two. Never know, they're always hiding behind something, you know? Look at this old metal here. Old.
Oh yeah?
What do they call that?
Rebar?
Rebar, that's it. It's got some shine to it too. Let's see, if you got a saw, you know, a wet saw.
Yeah.
Tell
Tile
you,
saw would do.
they were making big money down in Siloam cutting.
My tile saw, I can cut it. My
Yeah.
father-in-law's finger, but
Well, they got a stove. You know, you put water in it, you know, or
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
But no, they were coming out with some really cool shit. You know what I mean? And personally, I think you could make a lot more money at stone than you could ever trying to find gold or silver.
I like them better when they're not cut. It's like you just pick them up again. They cut them and pyramid them and do all that shit. They make them look. They almost make them look fake.
Now, see the way you get past these legalities on if you're on private property or not. Arizona state law says you have to post it a lot. You just can't post it at the drive, and then somebody be able to walk up the side of your property and not see something, you know. So if anybody gives us any shit, you know, first thing I'm doing is pulling this gun. I say, we're just filming, that's all we're doing. Now look at that frame to your right.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
What's that all about? It's long too. It goes about a quarter mile.
They probably used to have a they probably used to have a farm there. People jumping the track there.
Is that wild or what?
Yeah.
We want to go.
That says no trespassing.
We're going this way though.
Okay.
See, and there is no sign that says no trespassing.
I didn't see that.
And again, they even a claim from the BLM that has to be renewed every year. So you could go there and say, it could say, you know, claim blah blah this way. It could say claim blah blah blah, but if it's not renewed, that don't mean shit, you know. And I went to the BLM and asked them about it and shit. So no, we're gonna see. There it is. I think right there, the road that goes up to the right there.
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna go.
Oh, that's the back of those houses we just walked by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is a wash.
Yeah.
This is where I think the river she was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Like quicksand.
Yeah. This is like the kind of sand that would dry out in the ocean.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's years of water crushing rock.
Sure.
Yeah, you see it.
No, I lived in Seligman on top of a fucking big old hill, and the rock looked just like it was formed in the ocean, you know?
Yeah.
Looked like it was ocean rock. I said, wow, check that shit out.
Coyote Highway.
Oh yeah, you can see the tracks everywhere here. You know, this ain't dog.
No.
Paws are too small.
And they can walk here without being seen.
Yeah. No, it's fucking free country for them out here. Whatever they can kill, they can eat. Here's one of those vehicles to your right in front of us that are 12. Come on this side. Tell me that motherfucker hasn't been there a while.
Yeah. That's a 60s model. So it's been there since then. Yeah, that's like a 60. What the fuck kind of car is that?
And just as you hit that curve right there,
Yeah.
there's another car and truck, but we don't have to go that far. We're going up this way right here now. But that's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah. Yes, my brother. Tell me what kind of car this is.
Can we fix it?
Yeah.
But it's cool, the side, the architecture there, you know. No, you can imagine how many dead bodies are out here too.
Yeah. Where are we going?
That way. And you can see by the tracks here, somebody's been here recently, how the stones are disturbed, you know, here.
Yeah.
You can see the difference of color. This rock has been moved,
Yeah.
you know, sitting there for the longest time. You can see the track here.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna get cool here in a minute. You're gonna enjoy this. Now see, this is where the keep out sign is, but it's painted on, you know. And again, if you're not paying your taxes, and I don't see somebody living in a van paying taxes on all this shit, you know what I mean? See, there's a path from the wash going up. So the only thing they could do is call police on us. And again, I don't think that's in effect. Anybody could write that.
Yeah, it doesn't look, you know what, I've never been to jail. They could write me a ticket or fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say, sorry, I'm just trying to...
Well, again, we could say we walked right up that thing right there from the wash. We didn't see any fucking stop, you know, private property sign.
Yeah, you're not running your camera right now.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, both of them. I don't give a fuck. That's my private camera.
Yeah.
And I don't have to tell them that I was running it if they did come. You know? Look at that. See all those birds? What are those?
Yeah, quail.
Quail?
Yeah. They're so small, I never wanted to eat them. I said, oh, I got quail all these by myself. Fuck, you'd be full of buckshot. What the fuck? Wow, that's cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Look at the foundation. It's got water.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's two axles sitting right there. I was going to take that fucking axle right there. But it's got Drexel rims on it. See?
That'd be great for a trailer.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'd probably like to have it off their property.
Well, I don't think nobody really owns it, honestly, to tell you the truth. Somebody that was living around here owns it.
State land then? So that code on that thing might be from the state?
And it could be just bullshit, you know? Just, why not put it there?
Here, I'm gonna take some pictures. Pretty wild.
Yeah, look inside there. There's an old cement trough here too. Water supply right there. Here's the electric pole right there.
They gotta have a well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If they got water, they gotta have a well.
Yeah.
You'd think.
Yeah, they're not putting water out here.
Yeah, they wouldn't put electricity out here if they didn't have water. Or septic, something. Yeah. All right, well, we're going this way here.
All right.
Look at the steel coming up to hold the wooden place. Here's an old toilet right there. Porcelain or something. Oh. Here. I want you to see something you might want. I don't know. You tell me. This right off of there, it's just stuck in that wood there. Yeah. Is that an old canteen? It looks like the big hole on the bottom there.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know. That's interesting, ain't it?
I don't know. Now I got that fucking thing in my head about fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's taking his last fucking drink out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially out here.
Yeah.
I'm sure fucking water wasn't all that plentiful.
No, it ran like a river when they would get
monsoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they might have had a small spring or something that fed it, but
right.
Underground. But when they start damming, like you said, when they started damming everything off,
okay. So we're coming up to the van here now.
Here, I can carry your drone now. I just wanted to snap some shots. Oh, yeah, I'm not done.
No, there's going to be a bunch of. I think there's even a water tower over here.
A what? Water tower?
Yeah, old water tower.
is.
See, this keeps me going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is why I hike. You know, you're looking back into history here.
Yeah. I mean, I would love going. My favorite part of going to drum was walking in on a floor that was 150 years old, and just hearing. You can hear and feel the energy.
Yeah.
From the past. You know, what can you walk in on floors that are 100? You can't walk in very many floors that are like that in the world.
Right. There's an old toilet there.
It's like walking an old cobblestone street, and, you know, over in Europe. Is this that homeless thing you're talking about?
I don't know. About to find out.
Ravaged by some cannibals. Sure.
I know, but you take that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's smart. Oh, check it.
Look at the old pottery.
Yeah.
Anybody home? We're just walking through.
Somebody's taking their time to clean up.
Straighten up. This all looks new, you know.
This is like a squatter's village.
Ain't it?
Yeah. So even if there is a law about trespassing, somebody is doing it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. There's a tabletop.
That's what I'm saying.
That'd make a great tabletop. So you've been back here already?
I only stopped back there.
Jesus, look at that quartz.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We probably passed up that pile. They'd probably look at that over there.
Wow. Gotta be careful how much you want to haul back though, Joey.
Look at the size of that motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
Huh?
Wow.
That's got gold in it right there. You see those little orange,
Yeah.
yellow veins?
Yeah.
But it's fucking 15 cents worth of gold.
Smaller piece.
Yeah. Let's take the high road, I say. We can see more.
Actually, the counterweight. Wow.
The road goes that way.
This is where you stop?
I stopped before I got to that place there. Look at the view though.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Technically, we're actually heading back into town, going this way.
You mean heading back to where we live? Yeah.
Probably a road we can take right over, you know, with all these ATVs and whatnot, you know, side by
I don't
side.
even mind going back the way we came. It's no either way.
You ready to go back?
No, but I'm saying when we go back, I don't mind if we go back the way we came. It's fine.
Okay. Well, let's go a little farther. See what's around this bend here. A lot of tires. Look at that teetering rock up there.
Small pile of this. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, look at that. Right. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about when you stone cut.
Yeah.
You polish that.
Yeah.
Fucking, you could get high dollar for that shit, man.
It's a small pile right there.
I know. Trust me, that's one of the things I'm thinking about buying is
Cutter.
a cutter. Honestly, you know, I was telling that to Karen. I says we could fucking, you know, there's not a whole lot to it. Well, this goes on for a while. I don't think you're up for that. By the time we get back, you're going to be pretty tired.
Yeah, I got enough to go back.
Let's walk back then. See, if it was me, I'd be going right over that fucking hill there.
Let's take a pretty good walk.
Yeah.
Well, I will in the future with you when I get legs on them, you know.
What's your? It's a pretty not terrible incline right there. We gotta find a decent place to cross so there's no rattlesnakes. Right there is one of them. Right here, Troy. I'm pretty good at this.
I wouldn't think they want to climb up the hill.
See, something's been here. You can see the dirt. Come over this way.
That's a cactus. I forget what they're called.
Here, come in that way. Right there. And again, we're not trying to race up these hills. We're looking for shit. Rocks,
Yeah.
antiques, nails, spikes, fucking gold.
Are we going up over this?
Didn't you say you wanted to?
Not right.
Okay.
Not today.
All right.
Yeah, I don't want to.
That's what I thought.
Ping, ping, ping.
Yeah.
You start hearing a beep.
Yeah, no problem.
Besides that, to do that, I want to have pants on.
Yeah, I don't blame you there.
I already know to change my outfit next time. But I didn't want to get too hot. So
Yeah. No, we got a good 2-3 mile walk back still. Good chunk of it just walking around those houses.
Grab some of this. Look at this. I'm going to put more in my backpack. This shit's too cool. That I've never gotten before.
Yeah, no.
Look at that.
And somebody's put that shit there for a reason. I would take that whole fucking pile right there if it were me.
I'll take half of it.
You can see somebody's walked down there, the
Yeah.
footprints. You understand?
Yeah, well, I was just walking on that, so. You want some?
No.
Yeah? Bad juju?
No, I just want to make sure nobody drives up this road on us.
Alright, I'm done.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's enough of a backpack load anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just out hiking, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get it for you now. Okay, that.
And they said in the ghost towns, you're not supposed to take anything but rock.
Yeah.
You know, you can take rock. You can't take, you know, historical.
I forget what ghost town or someplace I was visiting, and people were taking shit, and they just like the Brady Bunch thing, and then they would get home and it would be fucking bad shit would start happening. They would send that shit back.
Look at that over there in the hole in the wall. Something. They were digging there. Look at the bathroom. Doesn't it look like an outhouse up there?
Yeah.
Look at the door.
Yeah. That'd be a great tabletop if it's still. Yeah, somebody just fucking.
That almost looks like a fucking mine right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you can see they had a fire in there. See the smoke on the black of the rock there where the smoke would go?
That's what they do in the cold. They go in there and light a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be perfect too.
Yeah. It's got a chimney on the top. You can tell.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that wild or what?
Yeah. So if this is all out here and somebody's scavenging this tells you how much at one time people were still living out here off the grid.
Yeah.
Because there was still money to be made in mining. You know, even if you're walking by and picking up something.
Again, somebody's been out here recently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That not old.
Well, just the way that dirt was kicked around.
Well, and they're trying to clean up too.
So you gotta see so many planks going over that side. You know, when this is what you look for when you find gold, mineralized rock, when it's brown and black and gray and, you know, not gray but purple. But again, it wouldn't take too much to find out who owns this. Really owns it. And I'd be the type of guy to go to that adverse possession type thing. Fucking fight me for. Here it is. Here's what the rock I got you the other day.
Nice.
You know where it's at now, though.
Yeah. I ain't walking here by myself.
You know?
I don't have a pop gun or nothing. I got a fucking couple of knives.
No, just to look at this, somebody's going to fucking stand back. I guarantee it. Unless they want to get killed. And the gun, if the gun don't do it, the knife will. Did you look at the inside this thing?
Yeah, I took a picture. Yeah. Well, you want it off or?
No. I hear something buzzing.
No, you got no bugs in you. No.
Almost felt like a fly or a bee. If I get stung, I'll know.
I got stung by a bunch.
Yeah, there's something there.
Huh?
Yeah, I just felt it. Right?
Oh shit.
I don't know. Hold this for a second, would you? I can hear it. Let me out of here. No problem, brother. Are my camera straight? This one. How about this one?
Yeah. Somebody knows.
So yeah, I was walking along that wash there and I seen that wood corral there. So then I got up here and I seen all this other shit and I said, whoa, check it out. There's an old axle.
Yeah.
There's another axle right there too I could use.
Yeah. That's a trailer.
Yeah. And that would work too.
Yeah. That's why they'll keep that. Don't have to do anything to it. Drop an old Chevy or Ford that was built forever. These are bed frames.
Yeah, I've been seeing them off and on. It looks like a wooden fence out there. Staggered. See it?
Yeah.
You figure that chick would go to town if she was starving, though. She would take her children at least to town or something to try to get help,
Yeah.
you know?
But this might back then. This might have been how town was laid out with a couple.
No, Seligman is
Yeah.
even on the other side of the tracks to where it's at now,
Yeah.
you know? So
I mean, so
I wouldn't have just stayed out there and starved. I'd have fucking.
yeah.
But then you got, you know, again, we're talking 1800s.
Yeah.
You got fucking Mojave Indians all over the fucking place. What the fuck are you doing here in the first place, man?
I mean, in the 70s, they didn't even have fucking drug rehab. You know,
Right.
they always wanted to clean out. They had to go check in the hospital for some undisclosed fucking thing for 10 days, and they would act, and they would cleanse your body out. And I was like, okay, there's your detox.
Yeah.
You know, nothing with the what caused it.
So you could see it when there's gold around. There's a branch kind of like that gray, but it's got a vein running right through it,
Yeah.
and it looks like it's shellacked and stained, and it's so fucking weird. Be cool if I could find one right here real fast. But I asked my buddy that runs a mine in the Bradshaws, and says, yeah, you find that branch whenever you find gold. And I've been to several mines, and they were there too. No, I think you'd enjoy that walk up there sometime too. You'd really like that. Right at the end of the tracks there's a homeless camp. Because I was looking from my binoculars from up there,
Yeah.
down there, and I was looking at that truck, and I see something all colorful and shit. You know, I'm thinking, what the fuck? And it was sleeping bags. I looked through my binoculars, and you could see about 5 or 6 sleeping bags. You know?
Green growth coming until spring's coming.
Yeah.
In the backyard, I'm sitting in the backyard today, and pretty soon all our fucking backyards, because he just threw gravel on top of the dirt, pretty soon we're all gonna need weed whackers
Yeah.
to go in the backyard.
Well, when you start seeing, you haven't seen a lot of them, especially today. Those little salamander-looking things.
Yeah.
That's when rattlesnakes are out. So once you start seeing them,
You would think this will bring out shit too, because the new growth means water.
you would think.
Yeah.
But there's not that much that live off of that shit out here. Maybe a desert tortoise. I've seen one of them.
I mean, yeah, all those little lizards or any of those things that the snake would eat on that shit, I would think. So maybe rabbits would come out for that kind of shit.
You'd think.
Yeah.
Fuck, down where I was at, man, there was rabbits everywhere. Jesus Christ, you couldn't go anywhere without fucking seeing a rabbit. Fucking, I'm not worried about getting eaten by a mountain lion. So many rabbits out there. If a mountain lion can't catch a rabbit, what the fuck? That frame right there just kind of freaks me out, being that long.
Well, they had a problem at one time. Plus, it's where the ball field was. If I had one problem one time, someone scaling the tracks there.
I don't know.
Reminds me of D-Day. Shit, you know, they were put on the beach.
Right.
See that down on the U.S.-Mexican border in South Texas too.
You don't think that could be from like old train shit?
That could. But to me, it just looks like they just wanted to slow down traffic.
Traffic from where? Again, if you follow this thing out,
Yeah.
it goes way off that way. It doesn't go anywhere. I couldn't find a road
Or it
from.
could be buried very deep because this section's in a wash. It could go down just to hold that. embankment up a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's pretty interesting though. That's a lot of steel. That's a lot of work right there. You know.
But like, well, just like the cars and all the shit that's out there, that's out there because somebody was living out there at one time.
Oh yeah.
A lot, actually, you can tell. There's a lot
Yeah.
of, like,
No, this could have been some kind of mining shit too. You know.
mining village,
Yeah.
mining camp. I mean, you know,
Yeah. Right.
The only people that really lived out here were miners.
Right.
Worked for the mining company, you know.
Yeah.
Them and their families. So
That's what I'd probably say it was. See, there's no trespassing sign. Like I said, I see the regular truck, you know, like a service industry, you know, electric company, whatever.
yeah.
Maintenance truck come right through here, right through this gate here. And there's no signs, keep out. And once you get to this
The only thing they would be going to would be poles.
yeah.
You know, yeah.
And I don't know if that's a keep outside, no trespassing sign either.
It could be old. Yeah.
I don't know that it even says it though.
It could be even as old as that metal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I do see one. Yeah, right there. No, that could be fucking 50 years old.
Yeah.
Faded it is.
Old.
Yeah. Yeah. There is. Well, look at how deep this is here. That's a lot of water. Gonna cut that out, you know. A lot of water.
We had a wash right next to our house out in Bigger, across the river from parking. And we used to ride when the monsoons come through and that wash would run down next to our house. We'd go right into this shit. We'd go right underneath the railroad bridge and drop off about 4 feet. It was like during the rainy season, it was like a fucking thrill ride right outside our door.
Yeah.
My mom was out there taking pictures of all me, my stepfather, my brother, and I went, "You guys are nuts." But shit, it's more dangerous being behind this flat bottom on the river than doing this. And let me do that.
You don't see any real mines. See down south, Salome? You see fucking mines everywhere. You see tailings, you know, you can just see the rock. As soon as we get up to this house, this road will get a lot better, a lot smoother. Now see, we can cut up that road right there, and that goes along the railroad, so we don't have to go way that way. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't care either way. We're both gonna have the same incline to get back home. So
I think this one's gonna be less drastic though.
what? Along the road?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I walked that motherfucker, you know. Pretty much what I just we did today, you know. And I was fucking tired. Yeah.
Having fun when we did that. I'm tired.
And I haven't filmed up here anyway, so give us a new video. Hell, this is going to be another, I'd say 3 hours. That's 12 videos. Yeah, we'll go this way here.
All right.
Yeah, that's a cement pad or something. That had to be a house or something.
Or a railroad, building.
Could be.
Tool shed. Well, it's funny, you see all these old bottles, you know, you see the old things from the hard life, and you still see, in today's day, you still see the hard life in this area. It's just, you know, just different packaging, you know?
Yeah. Is this thing dead end right here?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. There's the road we want to be on right there. Looks are deceiving.
Huh?
Looks are deceiving. Many times I've walked the hill thinking I see tailing and it's just fucking rock bullshit. Many times I thought I seen a trail. It was just a wash.
And a lot of this shit is just like when I was a kid, we go out and we played in the desert, so now outside of Vegas and shit, so you see all the bars, you can tell where the kids are playing.
So we can go that way or we can go up the hill?
Up the hill? Oh, you mean the way we walked?
Huh?
Yeah, this is the way we walked. That doesn't look very safe right there.
Okay.
Too close to the track. I'm a good driver. I kept doing fucking Rain Man, so it's still in my head. I go, fucker, and it's laugh so hard. I go, dude, that shit stays in my head for like a week.
Now see, this would be a great place for somebody homeless to park right here, you know?
Yeah.
You'd have to listen to the train.
I wonder how much off the track, like an easement, the railroad has. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes that can be quite a bit.
Well, yeah, I would think so. You would think that, thank you, the railroad,
Yeah.
and they bought the land cheap when they bought it.
Look at how close those propellers are. See, so now I have to go this far just to start to get new territory, you know?
Yeah.
This is how far I came out all around us. And on the other side is desert. Here comes that train too.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, the first thing I did when I first came, I went to the top of that one there. And I was right on the edge, and here comes
Take a picture.
here comes a train.
You'll get it on video, but
And it looks so cool from the top there. There it is. See, I didn't even know there was two sets of tracks.
I didn't either. So that's where it splits up there.
Yeah. 4 engines on that. No, I've seen all that shit. Oh God, so many places to see. It's not even funny around here. All this history, all these ghost towns, all these old mines and shit, mansions, and they're probably
Mansions and castles all over the world.
there's probably 50 things within a 50-mile radius of here to go to see.
YouTube videos where these guys all over the country, the world, they'll go and they'll go explore deserted mansions and castles and
Oh,
shit
yeah.
people fucking walked away from. They still have furniture in them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure there's old mines, old cabins. See, again, that's a lot of cement for just putting cement out here, you know. That's somebody's house, you know. Again, you're living out here, you like that. You don't need a whole lot.
No.
A bedroom, a chair, a table.
Yeah, one single guy that's a worker. You'd have a little cook, a little stove,
Sure.
and a bed.
Hell, you could even have the stove outside, or
Yeah. But your stove heats the inside,
yeah.
so it has dual purpose.
But you're in Arizona, and how often do you really got to heat
Yeah.
a little tiny place like that?
You and I were walking in a cold wind the other day.
And then you get used to the cold too, you know. I mean, back then, you know, cold wasn't it like it is now. We're just so spoiled, it's not even funny. See, now we're on decent road. Look at the fire there. Somebody's living there. Hope the house ain't on fire. But you can look at the track where somebody's wheeled us out here.
Yeah.
That's been done recently. It was trash day yesterday. A lot of fire hydrant right there too.
Yeah. Okay, then they do have water out here.
Oh, have ya?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's wild. So that tells you how much they had out here then at one time.
No, this is probably one of the main roads until they built that fucking railroad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Probably coming off a Hula Pie Road, mountain road there, you know, somehow, before they built all those neighborhoods and shit. Because again, how else would those people get down here? Luna. You need water? You want to stop for water?
Yeah,
Rest?
I can stop just for a quick break.
Sure. Need to start bringing my umbrella for you, for shade. See, I want to go to those towers up on top of that motherfucker. So there's plenty to do here. Once I get the car, I'm feeling every day, right now I'm feeling better about that car. I can just feel that it's more solid.
Oh, and still, you just drive it to where you know a place is.
Right.
Drive as close to your hike that you want to go.
Yeah. Well, each time I kind of test it out, you know. We'll go a little farther and a little farther. See, they got a road going up that one too. Look, top of that mountain right there.
Yeah. Yeah, my cousin has one of those races.
You know, I'd almost rather walk, honestly. You can get a lot farther, but you pass up all those rocks you just got.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get to see the shit. You don't get to hear the shit.
Funny, he's out there driving a lake we were just walking on.
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse thing, I might rest there for a minute.
I'd rest even, anytime you need to. You probably should keep that drink out and take a sip of it every, 2 minutes or 5 minutes, something like that. See, you can tell there was a lot of water here. This is the river she probably threw the body parts down. I ain't shitting you.
Right outside our door.
Yeah. And that'd be a good reason to build a house there too.
Yeah.
Close
to a water source.
Sure.
And we gotta drill a well.
Well, there was probably springs coming down this son of a bitch. And they dammed them up the top of the mountain, property rights and whatnot. No, you could probably go back a couple hundred years right there, and water's been flowing through that motherfucker.
Well, and plus they need water to mine.
Yeah. Now you see that road up there to the left? It's going this way, right? That gray mark going this way?
Yeah.
That's just past Luna's house.
Yeah, that's the one that walks right up to our place.
Yeah, well, that's pretty extreme though, too. Trust me, I know. I walked it. If you go up this road here, it's about the same pitch that we'd be going. A little bit.
They were smart. They took the natural. Here's where the riverbed, old riverbed is next to us.
Uh-huh.
So they just built the road on top of the old riverbed.
Sure.
Yeah. It was already paved.
Well, plus it, you know, when it does rain, wash, you know, head water's gonna go down that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's channels to channel the water from this road down onto that son of a bitch, you know.
Oh, it just kept getting built up over the years.
See, there's an old road right there too. No, can you imagine being a cowboy trying to cross this shit?
No. Come on, let's go watch a movie.
You fucking, God knows when you're gonna come across any water.
Yeah, water, pussy, whiskey.
You know, whiskey or cigarette, a town.
Yeah,
Think about it.
you were lucky to feed and water your horse at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Almost looks like a pole or an antenna at the top of that, doesn't it?
Huh? That's one of those yucca plants.
You think so?
Yeah, I had one in my front yard. That'll grow for 100 years.
See, I was climbing the solar observatory, and I thought that was a telephone pole, you know?
That's a yucca. I had one in my front. Not a yucca, it's I forget what it's called, but I had.
I know what you're talking about. They're
They
long.
dry them out, they dry the stalks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Indians, they wouldn't take them. They're almost considered
Sacred.
They would only take them if they fell down on their own. And they take so long to get like that.
Uh-huh. See, that road goes up to that other peak over there. That second one.
Yeah.
That's a wild looking kind of rock there too. It's one thing I liked about Prescott, the rock there.
Yeah.
You know, it's very unique. Yarnell was the same way. It's like a whole completely different.
Sedona's one of the prettiest places I've ever
Oh yeah.
seen in my life. I pictured on my phone that day I went to Sedona that the only other time the land takes the picture, like Hawaii, Colorado. You just point and click.
Yeah.
The landscape does the fucking work for you.
Oh yeah. I've been all over Sedona.
Yeah, I love that.
I've done 4 or 5 jobs, and then you get paid. You got $1,000 in your pocket, so you can fiddle fuck around up there. I got a place north of Flagstaff that they made the Sea of Tranquility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The rock is just like the moon rock up there.
Well, there's a big lava park up there. I forget what it's called.
Well, yeah, they did this on purpose, and then they take the astronauts that were going to land on the moon, and they made it just like the Sea of Tranquility.
They used to train down to Mexico too, on the way to see Cortez.
See that? Excuse me. See that right there? That where the valley, that little wash that's going up through there?
Yeah.
There's gold there, I guarantee it, man. Going up that little wash. Nobody's ever been there. I guarantee there's gold there. See, this is different. You can see the difference in the color of that rock and this rock.
Yeah.
You know, this is more gray. That's fucking dark brown, dark brown. You go to Stanton, right by Congress.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it looks like hell.
So they got a crater. It's on that highway from where we go down from Ajo down to the Rocky Point to see Cortez, Puerto Penasco, where I live.
Oh,
And they have the U.S. government built that highway just before the Second World War because Al Capone was down there. But they finished it for the Second World War. But after the war and into the 60s, they used to train American astronauts down there because they have a crater there. It looks like something on the moon, and they would go and train down there.
yeah.
Plus, they could train safely in Mexico without any problem.
Right.
So we even used Mexico as our Area 51.
No, you could imagine this was a dog-eat-dog world, especially 1800s in the summertime. Fuck, man.
Yeah, this was a natural flow of the river at one time. All this was a river.
Yep.
You could tell.
One of my cameras just ran out of film, but I've already covered this area, you know, so it's not like I don't have it on film. That tells me my battery pack is not working, or it filled up. I only got 64s in there. I'll have to look.
Sounds good. I keep walking. That water helps.
Huh?
I said I keep walking. That water helps.
It does help too. But I'm like a camel, man. I can go.
Fucking dogs used to always, my chihuahuas, that shit would get,
Choya.
yeah.
Yeah.
Super dogs.
Yep.
I ripped all that shit out of my yard. My chihuahuas kept getting nailed with that shit.
Right.
Those big fucking needle nose to get that shit out of me. Walk right up that.
That's the one I did go up.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Did you walk up and over?
Yeah. I went to where we went. There, I went up, then down,
Alright.
and then I went down that wash, past those people's house,
Yeah.
and then back there, and then up the side of that other hill that day.